I'm here on Roosevelt Island at its New York City Ferry landing, and the news is very good news. It's something that I've been working on for the past 3 years, but COVID got in the way of the development. 3 days ago, Mayor Eric Adams announced that the New York City ferry system is going to approve fares so lower income, disabled people, and senior citizens will be able to ride the ferry, like the New York City subway, at a reduced fare. In 2019, I had written Hornblower Corporation, that's what it was called at the time, and asked them about disabled boarding and stuff like that. They really didn't have any procedure, and the cruising agent didn't have any protocol, and they said they were ADA compliant, that they have wheelchair access and such, but they didn't have any more information. But then I also asked, because of the advertised $2.75 fare, which is equivalent to the New York City subway fare or bus fare, if they were the same as New York City Transit. They are not. They are a private company out in California, but they advertise it not as such. I asked, do you have a disability fare or the low income senior citizen reduced fare that the New York City subway has, as I have here on this card? They said, we only have it for a 30-day pass at a $60 price. I said, well, that assumes somebody is commuting or going to travel on the ferry every day. How does that work? They replied, sorry, that's all we have right now. At that point, I contacted Councilman Jimmy Van Bramer, who is no longer in office in the 26th District. His term ran out. He was kind enough to respond to this and wrote letters to both me in January of 2020 and to the Office of the Economic Development Corporation of New York City. It's where they help New York City develop things for the good of the city. It's a corporation. It was addressed to then President James Patchett, but at the time COVID came, only months later. Things slowed up, nothing happened. There were a number of follow-up emails that I had sent to Mr. Van Bramer's office, the Mayor's Office of Disabilities, and to the Council Members Committee on Disabilities. There still was no reply from the EDC. We asked them to report back. It was not until May 5th of 2021 that then Assistant Vice President Roddy Miranda wrote, and it's quite a generic letter really, to then Councilman Jimmy Van Bramer. As mentioned in the letter, New York City Ferry currently offers discounts for senior citizens and people with disabilities for monthly passes. As you may know, we are active in conversations with the MTA about their acceptance and integration with their new OMNY payment system as the MTA aims to sunset the MetroCard by 2023. Well, this really wasn't any kind of response, and it didn't address the 30-day pass, which most disabled people would not use. They're not necessarily working. They're using it to travel to their doctors or to conveniently move around with their wheelchair because the ferry's sizable. Nevertheless, after that, I started to revisit it again. Nothing came of it. COVID was the thing. But now, with the new administration and COVID waning, after the de Blasio administration left, the people involved are gone, including those in Mr. Van Bramer's office. Eric Adams announced with other residents of housing projects, 60 of them all, within 1 mile of ferry landing, can now apply and will honor, not through this card, but through separate application, the $1.35 fare. But at the same time, in order for them to increase revenue, because there's a deficit that came to light 2 weeks ago by the New York City Comptroller, who audited the EDC, that there's a $224 million of unaccountable revenue. They were losing money, so they said they weren't able to do this. It was shameful, really. It should have worked, so they streamlined it. But now the fare is going to increase to $4 because those who are commuting can still buy monthly passes, 10 ride passes, $2.75 a ride. This will all be in September, but for the reduced fare program, you'll have to apply for it separately. MTA transit cards don't work on it. It will not be part of the New York City system or Omni, as they were saying here. But nevertheless, this is a windfall and has been a great stride. They say you can't fight City Hall. It took 3 years, and we had COVID in between, but I was a cog in this system of this wheel, and it started around everything that was said in the mayor's press conference. I said personally to people over the telephone and through emails how great it would be. I am delighted that I learned about this today. It happened 3 years ago. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope New Yorkers who qualify for this will be able to take advantage of this program. I'm very happy.